Welcome everybody. So I guess it's probably best that we preface the Diablo 2 mod.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah, there is a lot that goes into it. It was originally crafted for the Reign of Terror mod at first, and then somebody took these classes and then scaled them down for Grimdawn. I think they still need
They're
scaled down.
still ridiculous, especially the items.
Ton of item support. I'm not sure if he did anything to the items other than import them in. I think it was just a mastery rework.
Looks like it, yeah.
The runes as well.
Yeah, some of the runes are pretty crazy too.
And as far as I know, they pretty much imported all of the skills from D2 into this mod. So anything that was in D2 that was magic is going to be Aether in Grimdawn. Alright, so I guess we'll start with the Amazon, which you are playing, correct?
Yeah, the Amazon has like all about ranged damage. She has some spears, some melee stuff, but mostly ranged. And the funny thing is that Diablo 2 classes, none of them have resist reduction because they're already so ridiculous. But the Amazon has reduced target's armor, which is basically the next best thing, right?
Yeah, exactly. You're not going to find a whole lot of resist reduction. Instead, what you're going to find is either a ton of flat damage, which is going to cut through the enemy's resistances anyways, or you're going to find a ton of main hand damage. Like up to like 600% to main hand damage, which is insane for a spammable skill.
Yeah, like I don't have anything max on this build, but just this 1 point into this skill is 170 main damage. You can just imagine how much higher that goes up.
Oh yeah, it scales super high. In the Amazon primarily does poison, lightning, fire, aether, cold, and of course pierce because it's a ranged build. It also has some ranged weapon proc skills, a ton of dodge.
Yeah, I'm seeing that.
And like Matty was saying, the reduction to armor is critical. It's pretty much like a physical resistance reduction.
Yeah,
right?
And it's not like it's a thing on a cooldown. You can just press it and it'll reduce everything's armor basically on your screen every second. Doesn't even have a cooldown. It's nuts.
You can definitely expect to play both ranged or a melee. So
cool.
I'll put that on the chart here.
Other than like dodge chance, the Amazon is very, very, very squishy.
See, the thing with it is it's a little bit different because instead of acting as a tank, it's more of a like a DPS build where it relies mostly on dodge and chance to fumble and like things that impair the enemy's accuracy. So, I mean, there's a ton of dodge and a ton of debuffs specifically for that type of defense. Now, I don't think that's going to get you super far in the Shattered Realm, but it'll probably get you through the campaign easy enough.
Most likely.
So yeah, you'll pretty much be able to pair this up with just about anything that's melee or range. One thing that you are going to notice though as we go through the D2 classes is there's absolutely no chaos damage. But that doesn't mean that you can't convert to it because there's a ton of support on the Masteries. What's up next? We got Assassin. So Assassin is going to be purely a melee build. You're going to be looking at physical, fire, lightning, cold, and aether damage. So basically physical, elemental, and magic from D2. And then we have an insane amount of attack damage converted to health. I forget exactly which skill it's on, but it gives you 115% to attack damage converted to health, as well as an energy leech, and that's going to be insane. It's got a ton of damage absorption, and it's also really flashy. There's a skill on here called Fire Blast. It's kind of like the Exploding Wizard from D3. If you use it as like a melee, it looks like this. So I think that's...
Oh, wow.
I definitely want to play this just for that one skill. I'm thinking about pairing it with the D3 Wizard because Grimer has put together a item piece that basically creates the Exploding Wizard from D3, and I kind of want to have like an AoE like burst build.
That would be sick because the Wizard has so much RR. Moving
on, we have Barbarian. And by the way, I didn't notice anything special about like the mastery bar. It seems like these scale the same as like the Grimdawn classes. Unlike the Zenith classes have like some extra bonuses on the mastery bar. So Barbarian is you're gonna get a lot of bleed damage, physical, pierce, and aether. It has a lot of terrify skills, which is surprising. Like there's this howl skill here, And I think that would pair really well as like a meme build with the Terror Knight and just have everything running away from you constantly.
Yeah, that'd be funny.
It would definitely have to be a ranged build though. That
Yeah,
way
for sure.
You could just pick stuff off. Let's see. There's massive damage reductions on this build. I forget exactly what it is, but something insane. It's right here. It's also on how.
Wow.
35% to target damage is reduced, and there's also some for purely physical. Up to 40% reduction on physical damage, which, like I always say, like physical is going to be like 90% of the damage that you take.
Yeah.
So this is massive for like a tank or just a general survivability.
Yeah, and even like for a support for a party, right? Because that affects everybody.
Let's see. Yeah, it has a radius on it of 17 meters. That's basically that's the entire screen.
Yeah, that's nuts.
And then it has a ton of crit bonuses. I've seen like a ton of stuff, like 35%, like 3 times I saw that. So you can definitely stack that stuff up. It has a default weapon attack replacer to support like some weapon proc skills, and most importantly, it has a debuff. And this is where it gets completely fucking broken, okay? It has a debuff of 55% to the enemy's defensive ability. So you'll be critting everything. That's
nuts.
Well, I guess that would help your party too, because you know, you're gonna be debuffing the enemy.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot of attacks here. Like almost 3/4 of this skill bar stuff is supportive, and then like the bottom quarter is just your attacks here. So, and it's like the standard stuff like leap and bash and whirlwind and frenzy and yeah, all that good stuff from D2. I would say 100% melee. You're not going to get much else from it. We got bleed damage, which would pair nicely with the D3 barb now because it does bleed.
Yeah.
As well. Physical, pierce, and aether. Oh yeah, there's flat ether damage on concentrate, which is going to be your default attack replacer. Next up, we have the druid.
Okay.
Druid's kind of interesting. I played it a little bit in the Reign of Terror mod. I was disappointed. I want to get this out right away. I was disappointed that it doesn't actually shape change. Like it has the buffs for werebear and werewolf, but they don't actually transform you. But they're super supportive and good. So
yeah, it just puts like a little icon above your head once you're transformed, which is it's good enough, right? I don't mind it.
It does have like the pets of like the wolf and the bear, and you have like a raven, and all those things are really cool, I guess. You'll mostly be looking at the elemental types, so cold, lightning, fire damage, and physical. It also has some flat elemental damage absorption. It has a damage aura, so be good for like a melee build.
Yeah.
And there's a ton of skills in this tree that are kind of like a lava build. So there's like the ground erupts, and there's a volcano, and there's fiery meteors that crash into the ground. So if you're looking for a fire build, this one's really flashy. It has a default weapon attack replacer. I put a special note on here to check out Fury. Fury is on the werewolf toggle buff. And what Fury does is it has a celestial power on it. They basically act like a devotion proc. And this one's 100% chance on attack. And you get insane main hand damage as well as 40% crit damage. And it's in a 20% arc. So it's really good.
Yeah, Jesus.
There's also an acid pet. There's a physical pierce and bleed raven. There's an elemental or physical wolf or bear, and aura pet, which would be good for support if you have like a teammate or if you just want to support your pets. And you can expect to play this as either a melee build, a caster build, or a pet build. So it's kind of hits all 3 branches there. Next up, we have Paladin.
Oh, I forgot about that.
So Paladin is very supportive, has a lot of auras. It has a healing aura, so if you're gonna play on a team, it might be really fun just to try to play as a healer. Got a ton of shield support, you know, another broken thing in this game, completely fucking broken, is one of these skills, and I believe that it's an aura. It improves your energy regen by 575%.
Oh my god.
Yeah. If you paired this with the Elementalist, who has
Yeah,
the skill
yeah.
that it basically makes you immune to damage as long as you have energy, like, you're gonna be completely invincible unless you
Yeah.
get debuffed.
Arcane monsters, yeah, they are rough.
Exactly.
But yeah, that's just nuts. Oh, I can't believe that.
It's got a ton of retaliation support, as well as one of the highest reflect damage of like 800%.
Jeez.
And reflect damage is tricky because, like, it's not that good, because you got to think about it on a scale of, you're putting out like 300,000 to 1 million damage, and then you have like 10k health. So like the enemies aren't doing near as much damage as you. But if you're fighting like a D3 boss in Shattered Realm, that 800% to reflect might actually help you. Let's see, Paladin, also insanely broken, at least for one specific race. There's a damage modifier of 600% to the undead.
Wait a minute.
So like after everything has been accounted for, everything has been applied to your damage, multiply that by 600%. To the undead, anyways.
Yeah, and like Old Arcovia and Twin Falls, that's like one of the best places to farm with your Zeke level up too, where all the undead are. That's so funny.
It fits, like, it's a
It does, but it's so strong.
It's a class, but yeah, it's broken. It has elemental damage support, so it has like some resist reduction. It's actually pretty high. It's 50 of class B.
Wait, it does have resist reduction.
Yep.
Wow.
This and the Necromancer will be the only ones with resist reduction. And it's primarily elemental, physical, and aether, just like everything else. And you can basically only expect to play it as a melee tank. Next up, we have Sorcerer, which I know is super damage-wise is like the most insane of the D2 classes when it comes to flat damage. Just like how on the Barbarian, like 3/4 of the skill tree was supportive, it's the opposite here, where 3/4 of the skill tree are all attacks, like all they're different spells, and they're all pretty insane. It's all going to focus on an elemental caster. There's some freeze retaliation too, so you could probably mess around and like make like a meme freeze build just for fun, because there's plenty of items with support for freeze now, like freeze resistance reduction. You're not going to get very far on bosses, but with Sorcerer, I mean, your damage is already going to be insane enough that you'll be able to like kill it quickly anyway, so you're not going to have to rely on freeze. It'd just be a fun like gimmick, I guess. So yeah, that's pretty much it. It's just going to be your standard elemental caster. It's going to be flashy if that's something that you're trying to find. One of the problems though with it is it doesn't have a lot for defense. So if you're going to play it, pair it with something that has like some good defense to it.
Yeah.
Because it's pretty much your standard glass cannon.
Yep, which makes sense.
Other than the Necro, that wraps things up for the D2 class. Anything else that you can think of? It has a ton of gear support. I'm not going to dive into it, but some of the early items are insane, because you can get rings, an amulet, and a helmet, and a chest piece, all with +1 to all skills by like level 35, and then that'll carry you up to like level 50 or 60 for a long time. The helmet has an insane amount of armor on it, and it only drops off until about level 60 in terms of armor. So
yeah, like the items for early levels, they give you way more stats than anything should. Like you'll see a ton of defensive ability and offensive for low level items, a ton of health. It's just really nutty. If you need to level up super quickly, definitely look at these items.
Yeah, which is cool, because I like it in the fact that it'll support you and you won't have to worry about gear for a while. But then it doesn't affect like your in-game, because you can't use it then. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you don't want to be caught using like a level 20 epic when you're level 100.
Yeah, exactly. So it's pretty neat. I like that aspect of it, especially if you're doing like the randomizer challenge and you want to like sift through hundreds of pieces of gear at level 20.
definitely.
Is there anything else you want to say about your current projects and stuff?
Well, I've been playing a lot of the Grim Dawn, the Dawn of Masteries randomizer challenge. It's a lot of fun. So if anyone wants to join that, that'd be great. But yeah, other than that, just like my YouTube channel and stuff, working on some Grim Dawn videos.
Nice. By the way, the D2 Modfather has also joined the Discord for feedback. The next video will be on the 5 Necromancers. I may also include the chart completion as well as the next randomizer contest. The NCFF video is also out, so if you missed that, then you're really going to miss out on some unique classes. And don't forget to check out our Discord where we provide all resources in one place. If you're already there and you want to help contribute, $1 a month to my Patreon goes a long way. It just helps us keep our emojis as well as keeping the audio and streaming quality consistent. Until then, stay excellent.